morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry because I wear this glasses. This is prescription glasses. My father loved America, and my family loves America. My name is Fabio. I am here to support Senate Bill 123 to end early release program. My father was murdered in cold blood by a criminal. First of all, I want a big thank to Senator Suzio because we had a lot of support from him. I'm gonna say something what I see in the tape when we go to the court. My father, he is 70 years old. My father, he is good American guy. We love this country. We came in Jordan to live here, to the freedom country. But what we got, my dad is grave now. When the guy came to kill my dad, he killed him for $140. My father, he is 70 years old. He was behind the cash register, and he came to him. He shot him and directly in his heart. And my dad, he killed like he slave or like he homeless. All of his body is blood. This guy, he destroyed our life. He destroyed my mom's life. He destroyed my life. Also, I want to please support Bill 123, and big thanks again to Mr. Senator Suzio, and God bless America.
Thank you, Fabio. Again, I've seen firsthand the suffering your family has gone through, and you know, you have my sympathy. It's something you have to live with every day for the rest of your lives now. And that's another aspect of the law that I think is important for you to understand, and that's one reason why we want to see it repealed. Because it's not only important to protect people from violent criminals, people who have a violent history and are really, really, it's in their genes almost. You can see Frankie Resto, I spoke to the police chief in Meriden. He said in his 30-some-odd years of policing, he's never seen someone so hard as Frankie Resto was. He was really the poster boy for what's wrong with the early release program. As dangerous as he was let go under early release. And they knew he was dangerous. He had been denied parole under the old law. But the new law took away the board's discretion. The parole board had to release him early because his sentence was shortened, and he was let go for time served. By the way, I just want to quickly introduce Art Lenari, is a new state senator, is here, and Al Adenofi, state representative, just joined us too. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. I want to tell you this, and I'll conclude, and we'll throw it open to questions. But I did have the privilege of speaking or meeting with Undersecretary Lawler for 2.5 hours last year. And I will give him credit. He sat with me, and he listened, and he answered all the questions I had. And there were a lot of questions in 2.5 hours. What I learned from Undersecretary Lawler actually made me more concerned about the program than when I went in to meet with him. For the first time, I learned that when Frankie Resto was let go by the parole board, they had to let him go. They had no choice. In that 2.5-hour meeting, if there's one thing that stands out in my mind, is when Undersecretary Lawler, when I asked him, I said, why was Frankie Resto let go on the date of April? I think it was April 14th. And he said, they had to let him go. And I was taken aback, because he was Undersecretary of Law was careful with words. And I noticed he said they had to let him go. I said, they had to let him go? He said, yes. He had to be let go for time served. Because the early release program had shortened the sentence so much. Moreover, they had to let him go without a sponsor. Under the old law, he would have been required to have a sponsor. The new law, because he had served time, he was let go without that condition. And finally, and this is very, very important, he was let go under probation, not under parole. That is a big distinction, because when you're let go under probation, it's much harder to get you apprehended and off the street if you have a violation, or an arrest warrant has to be sworn out. No such thing is required under parole. And that's what happened in the Frankie Resto situation. He was known to have violated his probation. He was using drugs. They had to go through all the procedures, and an arrest warrant was sworn out for his arrest 1 day after he murdered Ibrahim Ghazal. 1 day too late. And they'd known about it for weeks beforehand. But they had to wait for the process to unfold. That is why early release has got to end now, before there's more murder and more mayhem in our cities and our neighborhoods. I'm hoping that this is the beginning of a process that will result in the passage of Senate Bill 123 to repeal early release for violent criminals in Connecticut.